Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. You should be watching this on Tuesday, May 26th. I hope you guys all had a great Memorial Day yesterday. Um, I am going to be going over how to complete this assignment titled Completing the Square. All right. And there are a couple things I want to tell you before we get started. The first thing you need to know is that this assignment is going to ask you two types of problems. One type of problem, the more challenging one, will have three blanks like this. And then there's going to be another type of problem that is going to have just two blanks. Okay. So what I want us to do is keep that in mind. The other thing I want you to keep in mind is that this video is going to show you how to get the values in this blank, but it's not going to explain why that works or why that is. The Khan Academy video does a great job of explaining that, and I'm going to leave that up to them to show you that. They don't do a great job of showing you how to get these blanks, but they do a great job of explaining why they exist. Okay, so watch that after, but to complete this assignment, you'll be able to do it by just watching this video. All right, so the first thing we have to do here, I'm just going to jump right in, and I'm going to go a little fast, but that's okay. You can always pause and rewind and rewatch, okay? The first thing we want to do is we want to find out what number divides both A and B. So remember, there's a 1 here and there's a -1 here. Now, in this case, the only thing that divides 1 nicely is 1. There are some problems where, so I might do another one where it has like a 4 and a 12. 2 divides 4 and 12, but so does 4, and 4 is the biggest one, so you always want to put the biggest number here. But in this case, we just have 1 and 1, so we're just going to put a 1 there, okay? Now, to get what belongs in this blank, notice that it might be a fraction, and this one too might be a fraction. That's okay. We have to go ahead and do the completing the square process. So remember that we have b over 2a to the power of 2. Now notice that there's already a little power of 2 here. So we are just going to write whatever we get in the parentheses in here, and then we're going to square it to get this number after. Okay, so in this case, b is -1, so we're going to go -1 over 2 times a. In this case, a is 1. There's an invisible 1 right there, to the power of 2. That's going to equal -1/2. All right, so I believe this is going to be -1/2. That number goes in there. All right, now this -6 is going to be, so let me get that out of the way. Sorry, to get this blank here, let me use a different color. To get this blank, you're going to use this number. So you're going to have -6 minus whatever, oh, this had a power of 2, sorry. Whatever this is. So if I were to square -1/2, it would be -1/2 times -1/2, which is negative times a negative is a positive, so it's 1 over 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, minus 1/4. All right, so we got that 1/4 there. Yeah, that's good. Now, this might be challenging for us to subtract 6 minus 1/4. But what you can do is you could turn this into a fraction. -6 is 6 over 1. And then to get the common denominators is you multiply the top and the bottom by 4. So 6 times 4 is -24. And 1 times 4 is 4. Okay? Sorry, that's really messy. Maybe I can undo it. So -24 over 4 minus 1 over 4. And that's a little bit easier to do. -24 minus 4 is -25. So this is going to be -25 over 4. Oh, you know what? You know what I forgot to do? It doesn't matter for this problem, but what I was supposed to do is I was also supposed to multiply this guy by this number over here. So let me get a blue. Okay. In this case, we got lucky. 1 times 1/4 is still just 1/4. Okay. So, but if it was like a 2, that would be different. Okay. So we'll look at a problem where that's different, hopefully. But I'm going to cross my fingers and hope that this is correct. And then try to shoot the different type of problem. Let's see. Sweet, perfect. Okay, so again, before I subtracted this, make sure that you multiply times this number. In this case, 1 times 1/4 is still just going to be 1/4, so that's okay right there. But if it was like a 2, 2 times 1/4 is 2 over 4, so we would subtract by 2 over 4. Again, I know that this is a long process, but if you get a problem with 3 blanks, this is a part of the video you have to watch and rewind and look over. Okay, so let's see what kind of problem we get next. Okay, now we have one with 2 blanks. All right, so this is a little bit different. So if you get a problem with 2 blanks, you're going to start here and you're going to follow this step by step. So let me get a red marker. We're doing good on time. It's 6 minutes, 30 seconds, so I'll try to be fast here. First thing you want to do is you want to subtract c to both sides. Okay? So we have -14 and -14. So that's going to give us 2x squared minus 11x equals -14. Okay. A little bit tricky here now. If you notice, there's nothing in the front. We don't want to have anything in the front. So this 2 here is getting in the way. Let's see. That looks like it's going to be a whole number. Okay. So what we want to do now is we want to get rid of this number. To get rid of it, we have to divide everything by that number. So by 2. So I'm going to get this green marker here. And I'm going to divide everything here by 2. Notice that we can't divide 11 by 2. So we're just going to leave that there. Okay. So 2 divided by 2, now let me get my red marker, is just 1. So now we're just left with x squared. This we cannot divide, so we're going to leave it as a fraction. I know it's kind of intimidating. If you need help with fractions, I can help you at office hours. Okay, so we're going to have -11 over 2. That's going to be our b. And then -14 divided by 2, if you check that on a calculator, it's -7. Okay, sweet. Now, what we want to do to find this blank is we have to complete the square. So we got to do that formula we've been using, which is, again, b over 2a squared. Okay. Now, we're not going to square it to fill in this blank. Remember, there's already a square there, like there is there. So whatever we get in here, we're going to put there. But we'll square this after and add it to the -7 to this side so that that's even. Okay, so in this case, our b is 11 over 2. So this is going to be a little bit tricky, but at the top, we have a fraction of -11 over 2. That's our b. And then so that this number here, replace that b. And at the bottom, we have 2 times a. And in our case, a is 1. Okay, to the power of 2. Now, 2 times 1 is just 2. So that's just, let me scoot over here. -11 over 2 divided by 2 squared. So I don't know if you remember how to divide 2 fractions, but pretty much this eliminates, okay? 2, 2. Because you multiply by the reciprocal, which is 2 over 1. And then that 2 cancels out that 2. So you're just left with -11. So in here, you're going to have -11. Let me complete this over here. -11 to the power of 2. Okay, so remember, we just want this number in here to replace that blank. Now over here on this side, we already have a -7. It used to be -14, but remember we divided by 2, whatever's at the front, and ended up with -7. So this number we have to add with -11 squared, which is actually 121. -11 times -11, negative times negative is a positive, 11 times 11 is 121, okay? And then -7 plus 121, oh, that's a tricky one, but it's going to be 114, 114. And then I cross my fingers and hope that that was correct. That was not correct. So what did I forget to do? Bum, 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 bum. Maybe I had to multiply this by 2. I forgot to multiply it by 2. Let me see. It's going to be -11. 1. Let's check here. Okay, so again, if you get stuck, it's okay to check and see what happens. So we did all this. We divided this. That was good. 121 over 16. Oh, you know what? I multiplied by the reciprocal the wrong way. So see, this fraction stuff can be kind of tedious. But, so remember I kind of just canceled them out. That was not okay. Let me get some green, hopefully. So this is a part where I messed up, okay? And that's all right. Okay, so I said you multiply by the reciprocal 2 over 1, but it was supposed to be 1 over 2. So then that's just -11 over 4. So to the power of 2. So that's the number that's going to go in here now, -11 over 4. And then when we square that, it's 121 positive. 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, and we add that to the -7. See how we added that there? Okay, and that gave us 9 over 16. Okay, so you had to find common denominators. The way they did that is kind of tricky, but to get common denominators, they multiplied 7 times 16, so they had the same, and then added it. So it got 9 over 16. Okay, so I know this is tricky. See, even I'm making a little bit of mistakes here, but that's all right. Again, we're learning. This is not going to bring your grade down, so try your best. This is 121 out of 16. And I want to encourage you guys too that, oh my goodness, 9 out of 16. Sorry you guys. I want to encourage you to persevere. Not all assignments are going to be this challenging. I know they've been sort of challenging up until now, but we'll keep practicing. But give these a shot. Okay, so again, I showed you how to do the ones with the 3 blanks. We made a little bit of mistakes with the 2 blanks, but that's all right. We went back and we fixed our mistakes, and hopefully we're growing and tweaking things as we go. Okay, so again, I'm gonna have office hours this week. You'll receive an email soon, or you might have already received it for office hours so that we can work some of these together. Okay, send me a message on Schoology if you need anything else, and I hope to see you soon. Take care.